What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of the Mad Pack, and I'm not dead yet! Yay! Yay! Brony door! Brony door! Alright, yeah. Probably should stop beating the bronies before the Brony Protection Agency comes after me. They're a protected group now. They're a protected group now. Apparently, the reason they're a protected group is they're an endangered species because no girls will touch them, and so they're dying out. So, ladies, somewhere, if you wouldn't mind, you know, having a couple brony babies, just a few. You don't have to marry a brony, just have a couple brony babies. That way you can ensure that my children get to make fun of bronies too, because I'm a little worried that they're going to die out, and this wonderful natural treasure of mocking bronies is going to be lost forever. I mean, can you imagine that? Oh, I mean, without making fun of people, you know, without being able to make fun of 45-year-old men who watch My Little Pony and have dirty pony fetishes, where would we be? Really? Where would we be? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so in the last episode, we left off, we had these steam dynamos. Steam dynamos, for those guys who don't know, they produce power. They produce RF, or red flux. I think it is a redstone flux. I'm not sure what the actual name is. I believe it's redstone flux. They produce redstone flux pretty good, about 80 RF a tick, which is fairly solid. The drawback for the steam dynamo is it needs two things. First off, it needs coal, charcoal, I believe lava buckets, there's a few other resources, and it needs water. So we've got two right here. Now, we could go and get a water bucket, and we could maintain the water bucket, where we just constantly feed into the water bucket over and over again. The problem with that is, if we choose to do that method, we're going to have a lot of problems with, you know, me having to go up and come down and go up and come down and over and over and over and over and over. And it sucks. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to make a couple buckets real quick. We only need two. And we'll probably be using these buckets later on anyway. Where's my crafting bench? Oh, it's the brony bench. Didn't even recognize it there. And bronies, I'm just playing with you guys. So please, please don't take it personal. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just giving you guys some shit. Just giving you guys some shit. Hey, and I was trying to get you guys laid. Come on. Come on. Don't hate on me too much. Come on. I was asking the girls to throw y'all a bone. Well, I mean, I was asking the girls to let you throw them a bone, but details, details. Either way, it was win-win for everybody, except for your children. But, you know, who cares, right? It's just your children. No big deal. No big deal. All right, so we're going to put this here, and then we're going to put this here, and that may not be enough. I think it is. Yeah, we got a permanent source there, permanent source there. Perfect. So now we've got an infinite water source. Now we can do this one of two ways. Right now we're going to do it like this. This is a little bit of a ghetto method because obviously we have to constantly do this, and that sucks. That sucks bad. That being said, we don't have to make the jump quite yet to fluid ducts. And if we make the jump to fluid ducts, we're going to bump into some issues because we're not quite there yet. We just don't have the tech. So what we need now is we need to get some furnaces rolling, and these furnaces need to be producing ridiculous amounts of charcoal. And it does look like I've already started this to an extent. So we've got 2 stacks of 64. We got these little monsters going right here. Now the nice thing about these is they have their own internal storage. So they can store 40,000 red flux. So the red flux will store in here. The issue that I'm concerned about is I don't know if the engines shut off once they hit that 40. So if they continue to burn, then I'm technically losing the funding. So it kind of sucks. That's all that stuff there that we may actually end up losing, and that's going to be a bummer. Also want to apologize. You guys are going to hear some background noise now. The air conditioning guy has gotten here. He's going to be installing a new thing in the background. So that's what you guys are hearing. I'm sorry about that. There's not a whole lot I can do about it other than just try and talk over it. If you hear some background noise, please bear with me. One other thing, Dragon, yes, my donations work with PayPal, so you just go down and click the button and it handles it. So shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to make 2 machines. We need to make a pulverizer and a redstone furnace. The pulverizer is basically going to replace our... let me get this stuff stored. Pulverizer is going to replace our smeltery because we're not going to need it anymore. As much as I love our smeltery and as nice as our smeltery has been to us, it's a pain in the ass to maintain, and you know, if we can get some other easier options, that's great. I'm not going to put the coal in this yet because obviously we don't have anywhere for it to go. So let's do the pulverizer first. So let's type in PULV. There it is. And the pulverizer, so we need 2 flint, we need some copper, we need a piston, the machine frame, etc., etc. So we've got copper. The flint, we're gonna have to actually find, I think we've got some in here. We only have enough for 1, so that's actually kind of good. We got the flint, we got the copper. Now we need to make a piston, and we need to make gold and redstone. So that's pretty easy. We'll come over here real quick. We've got, where's our gold? I thought we had gold on us. I do. No, that's an electrum block. Well, shit. That's aluminum brass, block of gold. There we go. Spitting that out. And voila. Wait, yeah, there's redstone. Redstone in this texture pack just looks ridiculous. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our piston. I don't know if you can make a piston with brony wood. I seem to recall brony wood is a little different machine, and if that's so, this isn't gonna work. We'll find out real quick though. Do we have iron on us? Yes. So we got 1 iron, we got 1 redstone, we got brony wood, and then we've got the piston stuff. Hey, it worked. Awesome. Some tools and such will not work with brony wood. I don't know why. I think it's because they actually took the time to make their own little, what do you call it? Their own little side products, so to speak. So instead of just making sticks, it makes brony sticks because, you know, they got to be different. Damn it, because they're special little flowers. So... such is life. All right, now we need to get some glass. I think I've got some glass over here somewhere, maybe? Yes, just enough to make this. All right, so come back over here, click, click, bam, there we go. Swap it, and now bam. What are we missing? What are we missing? We've got everything. Why are you being difficult? I don't understand why it's being difficult. Alright, so we got that, we got that. Where's our flint? We got our 2 flint. That's why it's being difficult, because we put our copper bars back up. Of course. Remember, I was trying to be all nice and get my inventory sorted and cleared. My bad, my bad. And there we go. Now we got our pulverizer. Alright, so we're going to put the pulverizer right there. That doesn't... I guess that is right. Okay. Alright, and so we're going to put this in there. That's going to fill up. You're going to see the steam's instantaneously filling up. It hits that point. Reason it's stopping right there is because it's actively in use. You can see the water is draining over here. Now you can't see red power being produced, but if you come over here and watch, you can see it is actually filling into there. So that's going to load up. That's going to fill up. Power is going to be produced and created. Both of those have their own internal storage devices. So while we've got that going, let's go ahead and start producing something. This way we can see this cycle. The added benefit of this over the smeltery is the smeltery is just going to duplicate. So it duplicates, which is amazing. But the problem with it is it doesn't have the bonus of having this extra little slot right here. So this extra little slot right here, it has a bonus of storage, etc., and it has a 10% chance or a 5% or 1%, depending on the ore that you make, to produce a completely different setup. And so this right here will easily handle some of the extraneous resources. Like for instance, if you grind up a ton of iron, you have a chance of getting ferrous, and ferrous is something that you need for Invar and a bunch of other thermal expansion stuff. So it's kind of nice to have. I mean, obviously the smelter's a little bit easier in some aspects, but this one's not too bad. All right, so let's go with the furnace. Furnace is the other thing we need to make. We're going to need clay. We're going to need another one of the. Whoops. We need another one of these right here. That's gold and red. No big deal. So, where's our gold? Where's our gold? There's our gold. We are going to need some more glass. We are going to need some more iron. We have sand around here somewhere, don't we? Is it over here in these chests? Oh, there it is. Don't even recognize sand in this texture pack. Damn. Really? Feels like these should be cooking faster. All right, fair enough. That's gonna give us just enough. That's gonna give us the 4 that we need, which should be all that we need. All right, let's find some clay. I know we've got some clay in one of these chests. Oh God, I almost fell to my death. I need to solve that. I need to solve that. I need to do that now. Here. There we go. Now I can't fall to my death. If I fall down, I'm just gonna fall in that. So that will keep death from happening accidentally. At least at that point, I'll have to work at it, and we'll have to actually get some actual. Whoa, there's some shit outside my house. That means we'll actually have to do some. We'll have to try to die. So, waiting on that to load up. Let's head over here. We've got a spider above us. Spiders shouldn't attack us in the day, as long as he's not a boss. Boss spiders don't give a shit. They don't care if it's daytime. They don't care if it's nighttime. Sometimes the spider AI seems to be a little different. We do have an angry zombie. Is that an angry midget zombie? Fucking hate midget zombies. They're creepy. They want your brains and they're small. They're like little wee people. Wee people are supposed to be nice, not angry and bitter and want your brains. It's just weird. No offense if you're a wee person. I love wee people. I wish I was a wee people. You know how much fun you can have as a wee people? Alright, now I'm just getting weird. Walking away. Walking away from that line of questioning. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, moving away. We've got a stack and a half. Moving. Riley, you do not want a pet dragon. It sounds fun on paper, but then it eats the neighbors, and then, you know, you've just got to deal with that whole setup. That's not cool. That's not cool. Not cool at all. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Oh, you're drowning. Good. Good. Alright, let's head up here. We can turn this this clay into bricks, and that will set it up. Again, I do want to apologize, guys, if you guys are hearing the background noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I can hear it clearly, and it sucks, but, you know, in Texas, you gotta have the air conditioning unit, otherwise you know, you just flip and die. So, we don't want to die. Alright, 10 ore. We'll put the 10 ore in here. There we go. And... okay, so we gotta wait on the bricks. Waiting on the bricks. I guess we can make the other parts now that we have the other stuff. Okay. So, thermal expansion, we got this. Bam. Pull one of them out. Clear. Now we've got this. Pop that out. Bam. We already have the copper on us. Fixing out the bricks, fixing out the redstone. So we've got the redstone, now we just need the bricks. Damn it. Well, the streamers are telling me they can hear people talking in the background, so again, I do apologize. Sorry. Alright. There we go. And we need 2 more. There's 3. And come on. Come on. There we go. There's 4. Cycle this real quick. Bam. There we go. And then cycle that. And what am I missing? Are we out of copper? What are we missing? Yeah, we're out of copper. Always something. Okay. And bam. There we go. Now we've got the furnace. And the nice thing about these furnaces, I love thermal expansion. I think they were the first ones to come up with this. You cycle this off right here, you can see all these little boxes lit up, and we're just gonna set it right there. By the way, just shift left clicking on the center is what cycles it. And then over here, we need to do basically the same thing if we want to, but we can then spit everything out into a chest. So unfortunately, this doesn't have any red power because we haven't turned it on yet. How are we doing over here on this engine? We are almost out of juice. So let's go ahead and just pop. Oh, really? Okay. Bam. 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 Oh my god. So eventually what we'll do is we'll set up a aqueous accumulator here for these. It will sit in this little vat of water, and we'll use liquiducts to transfer the fluid, so I won't have to manually click all the time, and that should greatly speed up the process and make things at least a little bit easier. Alright, so let's go ahead and dump all of this stuff I thought I had more stuff. I know we've got wood that we need to put over here. That'll just clear all this stuff up. Dirt goes in the big chest because we're going to keep compressing all this stuff. Because why the hell not? And I think that's good. I guess I will go ahead and put the clay down here. I don't know if that really makes sense. It makes sense to me, and that's all that really matters. I'm sure the poor OCD people they probably freak out. I'm pretty sure anybody who had any OCD left has unsubscribed from my channel by now, just because of the torment and the pain that I put them through. There we go. And we're getting a lot of coal. I'm gonna put the coal up here, or the charcoal. That may not make sense to you guys, but for me it's a bulk natural resource, so there's no reason not to. It's noon, so we should be able to move over here real quick. Ow. We're just going to chop down things. Now, one of the things that we want to work towards as soon as we can is getting some MFR structures done. MFR is going to allow us to automate our farms. It's going to allow us to speed farms up a little bit. The fertilization process should, in theory, pick those up rather rapidly. I'm not sure how well that works, and it's been a long time since I've used one of those farms, so I could be a little off on that. We'll have to kind of see. Oh, good golly. All right, how much is that? Yeah. Whoa, holy crap, you're mad. And you stole my little wood, you little, where are you going? You saw him run away? He was like all mad, and he was like, you know what? I may have miscalculated here. It may be time to run away. Oh my god. Alright, jumping down here. Let's pick up these last few things. As much as I like Brony wood, I kind of lean more towards the jungle wood now. Because I think the jungle wood might actually net us more per volume. Let's see, how many jungle saplings we got? That's plenty. We'll just go ahead and put this right here. 1, 2, 3. And eventually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Jungle trees are nice and big, so we're going to grow this one right here. Oh my god, that always scares the hell out of me. I always forget that there's that trap down there, and then I get close to it, and it goes off, and it just scares the crap out of me. Every single time. Rubber sapling, rubber sapling. What the hell? Rubber sapling. We need one more jungle boogie tree. Jungle boogie. Is there one out here in the water? No? Seriously? There's got to be more up here. Come on now, help me out. Help me out, tree. Oh, there's some more rhubarb over here that I missed. What is that? Wild blackberries. Okay, I guess I've already picked those or they haven't grown. That's kind of odd that these are like, it's almost like they're regrowing, and I didn't think that was possible. I know wild berries you can't pick. When you pick them, you break the plant, as opposed to if you grow them yourselves, then you can, you know, you can obviously continuously regrow them if you so choose. All right, so that's going to give us 2 jungle trees. Both of those should grow pretty good. And you can see we get plenty of jungle wood per each of those. I'm a little bit more apt to use those than the other, than the alternative. I just think we'll get more that way, and we're gonna need pretty epic amounts of charcoal to really power our base for the time being. Eventually, we may move to lava, and I haven't checked the actual RF values yet, but I believe all of the different engines more or less produce the same amount of red flux. They may store more. I'm not. Don't hold me to that because I may be wrong, but I think they produce the same amount of red flux. So if that's true, then there's no real difference between utilizing one over the other. The main benefit would just be the bonus that you get. So it's one of those situations where, you know, do you want to deal with lava? Do you want to deal with water and coal? Or do you want to deal with, you know, whatever? So an MFR tree farm is very, very easy to do. Well, other than power-wise. So we need to get our power situation sorted. We need to find a way to automate this process, and that'll probably make our jobs or our lives, whatever you want to call it, a little bit easier, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff going up in here. I need to pull that out so we can keep processing. There we go. And we just need to get this aluminum ore processed, and we should be pretty much good. All right, so what we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to try and expand this a little bit. We may do a little bit of IMI and applied energistics, because we're going to need an IMI system to really effectively automate MFR. So we're going to probably start with IMI. It just depends on how much Certus quartz we have. I don't know how much we have on hand. I don't think we have much at all. And that's the main... Or do we have any? I know we've got some. Where is the Certus quartz? Okay, so we've got some dust. Yeah, so we got 1 and 1. So yeah, there's no way we're going to be making an ME system anytime soon. We're going to have to actually go and find some Certus quartz and actually put a little time in grinding that up. What we may do, I need to see if this is actually in. Is it in? I'm pretty sure it is. Ink, well, let's just do binding. Yes, it is. So bookbinders and such like that, we can actually go into Mistcraft Ages. The problem with Mistcraft is I don't know if this version of Mistcraft has the same bugs that the Horizons version of Mistcraft does. If it does, basically what happens is every time you go into an age and then you come back, it crashes. And if that's true, that's not going to work. The other problem with Mistcraft Ages is a lot of them are very, very, very hostile. So basically I'll have like 1 to 2 seconds to look, and then I'm going to have to GTFO on the off chance that something's like waiting for me at spawn. And sometimes that happens. So we'll just have to see what happens. Either way, we'll pick up there. For those of you watching on YouTube, hopefully you guys are liking this episode. If you do, slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I got you guys next clip.